Welcome back. From our last video, we saw how we could derive the midpoint formula, and in today's video we are going to be looking at where the gradient formula comes from. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So let's say we have an xy plane like this. Okay, an xy plane given as this. This is the y axis, and now I have the y axis. All right, and then so if I draw a line that links both axes together, so if I draw a line that links both axes together like this, now what is the gradient of this line? Now gradient simply means how steep is the line. Okay, so let's call this point x1 and the y coordinate here is y1, and let's say this point here is y2. Okay, and here x coordinate is x2. Is that okay? Now we are going to prove that the gradient of this straight line given by m, we're going to prove that m is equals to a change in the vertical side on change in the x side. Now, so what does change in the vertical side and change in the x side represent? Now, the vertical side is the y-axis. Okay, the vertical side is the y-axis. So let's say the y-axis starts from a point y1 and ends at point y2. So to move from this point to this point, what is the change? The change in position. What is the change in distance? Now that will be given by delta y. This means change in y is, now remember, according to the figure, according to the graph, the plane, this is a 0 point. Okay, this is the initial position. So this is where y1 starts and this is where x1 starts, and that tells you that x2 is greater than x1, and so it tells you that x2 is greater than x1, and y2 is also greater than y1. Okay, now let's look at how we can see the change in the vertical side. So the vertical side, the y-axis, it change in moving from points y1 to y2 is going to be the bigger, or the final point, which is x or y2, y2 minus the initial point. Now y1 is the initial point because it starts from 0, okay? y1. And now, in a similar way, the change in the horizontal side, that is delta x, is equal to x2 minus x1. So now when we do this, now an expression of the ratio between delta y and delta means changing, okay? It's going to give us m, and this m being the gradient describes how slopey, or it describes how steep the line is. Now let's look at a quick example. Now before we get into a video, into an example, notice now the equation of every straight line can be written as y equals mx plus c, where this is the m. The coefficient of x represents the gradient, which is this m, and that is how you get your m, and c is the vertical intercept. That means an intercept on the y-axis. Okay, so a quick example. Let's say we have points A. We are given points A with coordinates 1 and 2, and B with coordinates 4 and 8. So now we want to find the gradient between these, the gradient of the line between these 2 points. That's AB, right? The line AB. We want to find the gradient of the line AB. Now our gradient is given by m equals to delta change delta y on change in x. Okay, and this is m is equals to 8 minus 2 on 4 minus 1, and this means m is equals to, what's 8 minus 2? 8 minus 2 is 6, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So m is equals to 6 divided by 3 is 2. Our gradient is 2. Now, if this helps you understand, like, share with your friends, comment,